Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to learn how to use our Flutter GetX state management to create a flawless authentication system. So it's going to be an authentication system where users can actually log in with their credentials. For the first part, we'll be looking how to use Laravel and Laravel passports to create an API that allows users to register on this authentication system. Then we'll proceed to creating the front end of the mobile app and also integrating the front end with the API. So in this segment or in this part of this tutorial, we'll be focusing on how to actually log in users and register users with the Google, that's the Gmail. So let's just have a workshop on the overflow of how the app is going to look like and how it's going to work. So this is the front end of the app, so this is it. So you can click on the get started to go to the registration part. Then this is the registration part. Then you can also click on sign in to go to the login part. So you can just come here and click on this Google icon here, and it's going to log in the user using their Google account. So the user have to choose which of the Google account they want to use if they have several accounts. So let's click on this. So it's going to try and load up details. That's fetch user data from Google directly. So after fetching users data, it's going to go to the back end and save this user data and give user access to the dashboard. That's afterwards fetching the data from Google. So basically that is how this app is going to work. So we are going to learn a lot of new skill and new stuff in this video. So I'd love you to stick around till the end so you'll be able to benefit fully from this tutorial. So this is just an overview. So let's go straight up to coding the API, which is the back end first, before we go straight up to the front end. Okay guys, so what we'll be doing next is we'll be creating our Flutter app, and also be learning how to integrate our Flutter app with our back end. So we've already gone through the process of creating the API. So in this part, we're learning how to integrate APIs with Flutter front end. So I already have a starter project or a starter code I want you to get, and so we can code together. So I would just go to my GitHub and get that. So I'll drop the link of this GitHub repo in the description of this video so you can clone the project and code with me as I code. So just copy the link here, then go back to your Android Studio Code, use your version control and paste it here. Then you want to clone the project. So it's cloning. So I already created some starter code. I'll make everything faster for us, so I don't want to go through the whole process all over again. So I just want us to do this together. So let me put this on. So we're going to get our dependencies. So after cloning the project from GitHub, what next we are going to do is get our dependencies, because you can see there's a red squiggly line here. It means there are errors in this code. If you go to the main.dat, you see there are a lot of errors here. So we're going to get in these dependencies, and also let me turn on my emulator. So my emulator is coming up. So before I get these dependencies, let me add other dependencies to this. I have just these 4 dependencies here. So I want to add. Okay, let me close this project. So let me add oops, it's not it. Okay, so let me just get some other dependencies we are going to be making use of in this very project, so I can paste it here. So what I want to do is I don't want to get the dependencies twice. That's get this one, then come again and get other ones. So I just want everything to be done once. So to ensure that, I want to just go and get the dependencies we are going to be using for this very project. So I've gotten the dependencies. Let me just paste them here. Let me paste them here. So these are dependencies. Google sign in, the HTTP Firebase core, Firebase auth, then Flutter secure storage. So these are the dependencies we're making use of in this very tutorial. So these are the dependencies. So I have to just do my pub get to get all the dependencies. So I want everything to be gotten once. That's why I didn't get it before. So it's currently resolving the dependencies. So what I'll do right now is I'll pause this video so that everything okay. It's quite fast. Okay, it's fast. Okay, good. It's fast too. So no need for me to pause the video actually. So let's just move on. So everything has been gotten successfully. So let me drop this so I can close this. So I come to my pub, my main that you can see everything is clean and good to go. So what I'll do next is I'm going to run this project so we can see what we currently have. So before we start coding, before we start writing our code and stuff, I want to run this project so you can see what we currently have. So I'll just go here and click on the run. So it's going to build. So as per is the first build, it's going to take some time to build the stuff. So after it's finished building, we have it on our screen here. So for that, I think I'll have to just pause this video and wait for my build to just finish building. So once it's finished building, I'll come back, then we'll continue and start doing some real stuff. Okay guys, so as you can see, I think the build failed. So it's failed because of an error. It says I think the minimum SDK is 23, but I think my SDK is lower than that, so I have to set this. So we have to go to the Android folder, the app, the app, then build the Gradle file, and we are going to change the SDK. We are going to make it 23. So this should solve the error we're having. So we can close this and run this again. So that should solve the error we are having. Okay guys, it has finished installing. So our app is up. So let me close this. So this is how our app should look like. So if you are using the same code that I just cloned from GitHub, this is what you should have. You should have something like this. So when you click this login, it should take you to the home page now. It should take it here. So just log out. So you can have your start or get started. Sorry, you should have something like this and stuff. So what we'll be doing first is we'll be fixing this authentication thing. So but the first part of the authentication we'll be fixing is this Google sign in. So one situation whereby users can actually sign in with their Gmail. So they can sign in with their Google accounts. They can also create an account with their Google account. That means they can sign up with their Google account. They can also log in with their Google account, register with their Google account, and also log in with their Google account, whichever method they choose to do. So let's go straight up to our code now. So we start up by coming up to the link folder. Let's just close it up. Let's open the project files. So let's go to the link folder. So we're going to create a directory. Let's create a directory now. Let's call this directory services. Let's call this service. So the service directory, I'm going to have a file first. Let's call this API services. So this API services is going to handle our request, our request method, like our post request, our get request, and all of that. So this is where those stuff are going to be. So let's create a class. Let's call it API services. Oops, I want this API API services like so. So we'll have this. So we're going to create a function now. So let's first of all let's take this down. So we're going to create a function. It will be a feature. Okay, future. So it's going to have our HTTP dot response. My response should be having the capital letter R. So let's call the name posts requests. Oops. Like so, like this. So we're going to import the HTTP package now. And this, we're going to import the HTTP package as HTTP, like so. So this post request function here is going to have some parameters. So it's going to have string of endpoints. So this then is going to have a map dynamic string dynamic. Now we have string then dynamic like so, and it's going to call data. That's our data we're going to be processing. So like so. So now let's use our try catch, then catch. So we have our E here, then so we're going to throw an exception. Let's just make it E like so. So yeah, like so. So now let's create a variable called final. Let's call it response. Response will be equal to await. So let's put the async here. Sync while we are waiting. We are waiting http dot posts. So our URL will be URI dot what passwords are endpoints. Passing our endpoint. Then we are going to have the body. The body was JSON dot encode. So let's fix data. So there's a typo. Let's import this like so. So let me just put some comma here, then put some comma and save this. So yeah, this is what I wanted. So what we're going to add next, we're going to add the header. The headers. So header is going to be this like so, and it's going to have content type of application slash JSON. Then we're also going to have it's going to accept what application slash what JSON like so. So we're done with this. We are going to then return this response. like so. So this is what our API what services. So this is how our API what service is going to be for what the post request. So remember, we're going to be using this post request. All we have to do is just what call this make this method actually call this method. Remember, we're going to making use of what post request. So that's for that. Let's move on to the next stage now. So what we do next is we're creating the auth services. So this auth service is going to help us get an ID token that we're using actually to give user access to the app. Actually, what it means is this auth service we're about to create will help us get an ID token from Google, so we can get access to the user's detail. Remember, the user is going to log in or sign up with their registered email or Gmail basically. So we are going to using that to extract some details from Google directly. So we'll go through the work process, but let's create the auth services first. So just add this. So this is going to be a class of auth services. Services. So this is going to extend the getS controller like so. So for this, we are going to initialize the Firebase auth like this. So Firebase auth, let's say auth will be equal to Firebase equal to what Firebase dot init instance Firebase auth dot instance like so. So we do that, then we're also going to initialize the Google sign in as Google sign in will sign in. This will be equal to Google sign in like so, like this. So like to stop initializing here first. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to create a method down here. So it's like this. So am I going? So it's going to go having what the user like this, and let's call this method sign in with Google like so. So this is so we're going to use our try catch now. Let's put a catch here like so. So for the catch, let's just return null for the catch. Then we're going to print out E actually. So let's go up and let's put that E here like so. Let's add let's see Google sign in error like so, like this. So this should work. So this we are going to put the variables, let's say final. Let's call this Google sign in accounts call this Google user will be equal to now, wait, let's put this async here, like so. Are we waiting? We are waiting what this Google sign in here dot what sign in, like so. So now we can always use our if statement. If what, if Google user, you can say if Google user it's equal to, let's say no, I'm going to do something here now. If Google user is equal to no, let's return no, like so. So this for this. So you can come down here and what, create another variable and say credential would be equal to, let's get the credentials now. Google Auth provider, let's just Google Auth provider dot credential, like so. So we're going to get the access token, the Google Auth, let's say it's Google Auth actually. That's what, I think something is wrong somewhere. Let's get this done first, see what's happening. Okay, so we have Google Auth here, but we've not yet created this variable, so we have to go up here and create that variable. So we're going to say find out what Google Auth. I'm going to use the Google Auth sign authentication, then is equal to what, to be this, like so, equal to await what, Google user dot authentication, like so. So this should work now. Yeah, let's get this done. So what we're going to do next is to come down here and get what the ID token now, what we actually need. So we're going to say Google Auth ID token, of course. So like so. So at the end we are going to return the user. So we're going to return return user credential. Do we have user credential? So we're going to return this, actually this credential dot so we're going to come up here and let's create this stuff here. So we're going to say fine now. Let's call it user credential now. Yeah, let's call it user credential. But this will be having a cap. User credential. User credential is what will now be user. Credential will not be equal to. I think there's a mistake here. let's comment this first. So let's come here and say user credential, which is equal to, okay, equal to what, wait, what, auth dot sign in with credential. So I'm going to have a credential there like so. So this credential here is this credential. So this should now work. So we can now do this now. So user credential dot this like so. So also though we have an error here still, it says what? Okay, so I have to correct this now. So we have to correct this. So we have to change this to just like this. So like so. So this should work. So we've done this. So created the user, the auth services. So I think we are done with this now. So let's move on to the next stage. So guys, after creating this, what we're doing next is let's just create the API routes. The API routes. Yeah, the API routes. So let's come to this route. Let's create a new file. New that file. Let's call this API underscore routes. Like so. So let's create a class. API routes. Like so. So we are going to have some stuff, static words, string of, let's call this base URL equal to this for now. So let's duplicate this. Let's duplicate that. So come here. So let's call this endpoints. Let's call this the endpoints. So it's going to have in my base URL, this URL, then slash API. So the reason why we have this is because this is how the Laravel API endpoint is going to look like. So for this now, we could call this the login. Then we could call this register. You can call this what Google sign in. Google sign in like so. But this is how it's going to look like. So we've done this already. So next what we are going to do right now is we are going to create a directory. We're going to call that directory repository. We'll create a new directory, call it repository. That is REPOSITORY repository. So this repository, we're going to have a file here. We're going to create that file. Let's call this auth repository like so. So this is going to be a class, and this is going to be auth repository, and it's going to extend what gets as controller like so. So let's have this. So now we're going to initialize some stuff. Let's say final first. Final words. We're going to get our API services like this. Then we are going to use the auth repo. We're going to use auth repo, and this required this dot auth API services, like so. Then I'm going to create a method now. Let's create a method of map auth string. Oops. I think I'm just pressing stuff for my keyboard. String, then dynamic. So this is going to be, let's call this login with Google. Let's call this login with Google. So let's do that so. Oops. Like this. So let's use our try catch. So it's going to catch, of course, then it's going to what let's just print out some stuff here. Print let's say error occurred during let's say login. Then we're going to bring out the error like this. Then what we're going to do, we're going to go through this like so. Yeah, this should work. So now let's go back to our try block. What's first thing, let's create a variable. Let's call this final to be the response. Response is what's, let's make this async first. Let's come here like so. Response should be equal to, while we are awaiting API services to post request. So require what the endpoint. So this endpoint will now be API routes dot login with Google sign in rather. Then we are going to require some data here. We're going to require some data, which should be like this. So this data now would be the ID token, because we need the ID token actually. We need the ID token. Let's give this method a variable ID token like so. So this ID token would be here like this. So this should work. Okay, so I have to remove this. So this should work like so. So now let's process the response accordingly. So now, so the first thing is we're going to get at our response and see response dot status code first. Let's check which status code is coming. If the response dot status code is equal to 100, obviously. So what we're going to do, we're going to create another variable called data. So the data, we're going to extract the data currently now. We're going to JSON what decode. What are we decoding? Response body, response dot body. So like so. So now what we're going to do, let's just print out first the data. Let's print out the data. So later we can use the data to do other things, but for now let's just print out the data here. So let's print out the data here, and also let's just do something here before we print out. Let's check if the data contains anything. So if data Okay, let's leave it at this stage first. Let's just print out the data first off. Let's print out the data here. So what we're doing next is we're creating what controller. We'll be creating what the controller. Let's create another what directory. Let's call this controller. Let's call this controller. So in this controller, we're going to have the auth controller now. Auth controller. If I call auth controller like so. So the auth controller. So it's also going to be a class. We call it auth controller. Controller is also going to extend what the gets s controller like so. Yeah, like this. So we're going to initialize some stuff here. So this we're going to initialize Flutter secure storage, because we are going to be making use of that what store some stuff, to cache some stuff actually. Flutter secure storage is, let's call this secure storage. Secure storage will be equal to, let's give it a constant variable of constant of what Flutter secure storage like this. Then we're also going to initialize the what the auth repo, auth repository will be auth repo like so. The other thing is we're going to create another variable now. Let's call this var. Say is what's loading to change. So if it is loading, we are going to what change the state accordingly. Be equal to false as the default state dot what. Let's save this like so. Also going to create another variable. Let's call this if the user is eventually logged in. If it's logged in, so if logged in, so from the beginning it's going to be false also, like this, like so. So what we'll do next is we'll say auth controller is going to require what this dot or triple like so. So like so. So let's create a method now, just as we do it before. So it's going to be future words void. Let's call this login with Google. Also let's call this login Google. So let's try do our try catch as we usually do. Let's put a catch here. Catch is like so. This one is going to be different because let's add finally. So what we're going to do finally, let's put that stuff here too. So what we're going to do finally, we are going to set is loading dot value to be false. So after everything we're going to set this to what before, because once we start processing data here, its loading will be set to true. So at the end of the whole data processing, at the end of it, once we change this word to false, so it can display whatever response is getting from the word processed data. So let's do the catch now. It's going to be E. Yes. Then for this now we're going to create let's print out something first. Let's just print out let's print out E itself. Let's print out E like so. So this we're going to create a snack bar. I don't create a customized snack bar, so we can also to display whatever error we're going to be having here. So before we create that snack bar, let's first of all process our request in the try block. So what we're going to do, let's first of all set is loading dot value to be true, course now I want to process the data. So I set it slowly to be true. Then let's say final what data will be equal to auth repo dot what login with Google. So we're going to have our ID token here. Currently we don't have this, so this method is going to be having what some parameters, string of what ID token, like so, like this. So now if the data is not null, for instance, if it's not null, if it contains some data, obviously, if data is not null, what we're going to do, we're going to do some processing here actually, but for now let's print out the data like so. First we're going to print out the data here. We're going to print out the data here like so. So what we're going to do is showing an error. Okay, so I think okay, we have to await this actually. Let's await this like so. Then we have to print this in here like so. So that solves the problem. So this is what we are going to be having. So this is just a basic framework of what we are going to be doing. So this will have we are printing the data is because once you first see the data, want to see the data and know how we are going to process the data. So we've done this. So next we are going to do is let's then create the snack bar. Remember I told you we are going to create some snack bar so we can use to display the error messages. So we're going to do so. Let's come here. Let's create a new directory. Let's call that utility. Like so. So we're going to let's open this. Let's create a new directory. Let's call this snack bar like this. So we're going to create a new that file now. Let's call this fill and so snack snack bar like so. So let's copy this, or let me just paste that here. Okay, like so. Let me correct this. Let me make this catalog snack bar like this, so we can use this now, the auth controller. So this, let's just print this snack bar so let's get this file here. Let's import this file. Let's import this. So it's going to be requesting what two parameters, the titles and the message. So let's just give it a title. Let's call this login error. So the message would be an error occurred during login. So like so. Then if it is successful, let's create another snack bar. Let's create a new dat file. Let's call this success. Let's go snack bar like so. So let's add this. So let's close this. Let me get that file too. So let me get that file. Let me just close this and let me paste this like so. Let's correct this number. So we're going to get the success number here, and so this we're going to just let's put it here like this, like so. So it's going to also have to put in two parameters. Let's say logged in let's say logged in, let's say logged in, then the message will be welcome to any word, word like so. Let's import this now. Let's import this like so. So we are done with this. This should work perfectly well. This should work fine. So after doing this, let's just close this file. Let's close this. Okay. Let me just open this thing first. Okay. Because we are still going to be making use of this stuff, but I can remove this. So I can remove that. So let's create the binding folder. Let's create a new directory. Let's create a new directory. We're going to call that binding now. We'll call that binding. We're going to call the directory binding. So this folder is going to have what's auth binding. Let's call this auth binding. So let's have this. So it's going to be a class of auth binding. We're going to extend binding. So it's going to be extended binding. It's going to be extended binding, sorry. So we're going to create an override here. It's not operator. We need override dependency. Override dependencies like this. So we're going to use the get dot what lazy puts. What we're doing, we're getting this like so. API services. So let me duplicate this. Import and duplicate. So the next one is going to be what auth repo. Then it's going to get dot find like so. Third one is going to be what be different. So we are going to change this. Auth controller. We're having this, then we are going to have the auth. Controller. Like so. Control like this. The typo here. Forget to add this. So it's auth controller. Control what gets dot find like this. So this will be depending like this. So next we are going to do is we are going to inject our dependencies now. Create a file to inject the dependencies. So that's what we're doing. What's next? So let's just put that in what. Let's create a dat file. Let's call that dependencies. Dependency. let's create a class. Let's call this dependency what injection like so. Let's create static or void init method. So let's do get dot put. Let's import this first. We're getting all this like so. API services. So we're having this now. API services and true like so. So I think we could just as well just cut this off. Let's cut and paste 3 times. So next is going to be the what or triple like this. I'm going to have let's clear this off. Triple like this. Gets dot find like this. So this we are going to have out controller like this. We are going to clear this off also. So for this, let's add one more parameters to this. True, of course. Let's put the comma here. So for this, we are going to have out controller get dot what find, then true like so. So this should help us. So what we're going to do next is, I think we are done with all of this. We are going to go short towards our main dot towards initialize these dependencies here. So let's come down. Okay, next we are going to do is we're going to initialize our dependencies, like I said. But for us to successfully initialize our dependencies, and recall that we're using Firebase because we want this go sign in to work whenever a user click on this stuff here, right? So we're going to be linking our project with Firebase cursor account. That's what we'll be doing now. So I think we should initialize some of the dependencies first. First off, let's do our dependency injection. Dependency injection dot what init. Let's do this. Then let's do our okay. We don't need this now. I want to initialize Flutter secure storage, but we don't need that now because we may be making use of that later. Then let's go up here. Let's do the normal like this. Normal we get what Flutter binding dot ensure initialized. Let's do this. Then we are going to do this. So next we are going to do next is for us to let's just initialize the Firebase. Let's initialize Firebase here. Let's change this to async. So let's initialize Firebase. Let's initialize Firebase. Let's initialize Firebase. Let's say Firebase dot what initialize app like so. Let's do this. So but this will not work now because we've not yet created a project in our Firebase cursor and we not yet linked that project with this project we're working on. So for us to do so, we are going to go to our Firebase cursor and create a project there and then link it to this one. So let us do so. Okay guys, so this is my Firebase cursor. So I'm going to just create a new Firebase project. Let's call this GetX app. Let's just call this. Let's just continue. Let's continue. Default accounts. Let's move on. So I'm creating the project now. So let's go back to our work here. Let's open our terminal. So of course we are going to be running some command lines now. So let's go back here. So it's creating currently. So let's give it some time to create. So okay, let's just continue. So let's click on this. Okay, first off, let's create a Flutter project here. So we're going to okay, let me explain this for you. So currently you have to run Firebase login for it to log in. For me, I'm currently logged in already. So if I run this command Firebase login, it will show you that I'm logged in already. I'm currently logged in, so I don't have to log in again. Yeah, I don't have to log in again. So as you can see, I'm currently logged in as this. So that's for that. So I don't have to log in. But for if you are not logged in, you have to log in. So also we don't have to create a new Flutter project because we already have projects we are working on. So let's click on next. We have to do this. So let's do that. So while that is loading, I have to get this application ID. I have to get the application ID not here now. Let me go here. I want to get the application ID because I'm making use of the application ID. Okay, this is it. So let me just get this application ID. So this is the application ID here. Okay, let me just open notes. Notepad. Let me just paste it here because I'm making use of it later. So I've done so. Let me copy this now. So the next one is to register our apps. So let's do so. Let's paste it here. So it's fetching the Firebase projects that I currently have. I have actually this very Firebase project. That's what is fetching currently. So as you can see, that's ticked on Android and iOS. So that's all I really want. So let me just click on. Let me come here and click on enter. So it's asking for the application ID or package name. So that's why I'm going to make use of this. So I'm going to paste that here and we'll click on enter. So it's going to do this thing now. Register the Android and the iOS app for us. So let's just give this some time for it to do its stuff, and after then I would resume the video. So let me pause and wait for this whole thing to register. So guys, everything has been done successfully. So we have that now. So everything has been done successfully. So I guess this would work for us. So as you can see, it created this Firebase _ option.that5 for us. Let's just click on this. So we have that done already. So everything we are good to go, though we've not yet finished our integration. Actually, we are not yet done with our integration because if you go to the views and the login views, you see if a user click on the Google parts, that's let me search for it, the Google here. If a user click on this place here, notice is going to happen. So we have to create a method that allows users to log in or register when they click on this very button here. So that's what we're going to be doing next now. So what we're going to do is we come up of display. Just go up, and first we are going to initialize two things. Let's say final. Let's get auth services. Auth services equal to auth services like so. Then we're going to get initialize our auth controller. Controller will be auth controller. So to be equal to, not equal to, get dot find what I find is going to be like this. Find auth controller like so. So then we can then create a method that would help us log in the user. So let's do so here. Let's say feature void now. Let's call this Google What's login. So let's give this async because it's going to be having this. So what we're doing, we're saying final user will be equal to await auth services dot sign in. Remember that method, sign in with Google. So now we now have the user. So if this user is not null, if our user is not null, remember, let's go here, let me show you something. So remember, our returning null if there's an error, obviously. So if the user is null, we return null. So what we have to do here is we have to check if this user now, if it is not null, so we can do the right thing. We can make the right can process this data accurately. If it's not null, that's when we're going to do this. We're going to say final. We're going to get the token now, ID token. ID token will then be equal to await user dot get ID token true. You get, so we're tapping into this. I'm getting this stuff, and then we can then do the final logging in, saying await auth controller dot login with. So the ID token is like that. So sorry, an error, we have to put a not check to make it work well. So this is this. So we're going to call this method now. We're going to call that method where we have our Google sign in here. I'm going to call that method here like so. So this should give us what we want. So we are going to review this. Obviously we are going to review this thing, because hot reload is not going to give us what we need actually. So let's drop this and let's rebuild. So let's wait for this stuff to review so we can test what we've done so far. Okay guys, the project has finished building. As you can see, it has built successfully. So we are going to test and see if this thing is working. So we'll click on that button. So let's see. Okay, it's trying to tell me to use my email now. You can see we're going to fix this thing, so it's okay. Let's use this account. Okay, as you can see, it brought an error. Sign it fail. Okay, sign it fail. So the reason why it's showing sign it fail is because currently in our Firebase also, we've not actually enabled our Google sign in yet. We've not yet enabled signing with Google. We've not done that yet. So we'll go and do that now. So let us go to our Cursor account. Okay, we've done this already. So let us click on next. Let's continue to Cursor. So we are going to do that now. Authentication. So we're going to enable Google sign in. Let's just let's get started. So let's wait for this thing. So we're going to enable this. Let's enable this. Let's put this. Let's click on save. So I think we've done this already. So we've enabled this, so we can just go back. So let's try and do that again. So let's wait for it to come up. Okay, so we're still having Google sign in error. Okay, so we're still having this. So we are going to solve this now. So what we're going to do now is to get this error, since we've already enabled Google sign in from our cursor. We're going to get some of our keys now. Let's just come to the terminal and paste this command line. Okay, as you can see, okay, it does not exist. We're going to generate the keystone, the key tool now, the key store. Actually, this we're going to generate this now. So let's do so now. Yeah, let's do so. So what you're going to do is you're going to paste this command line on your terminal. Then you are going to replace this with the parts where your debug dot key store is. So normally or basically it's usually in your users folder on your main disk. Okay, like this, somewhere like this. Look at this user hp.android, then you go get it here actually. So I'm going to replace this parts with that very part. Let me show you with this part. With this part, you're going to replace this parts here. So once you do so, it's going to generate what the key store for you. So let me just do that and paste my there. Yeah, I'll do that and paste my there now. So I'll pause the video and do that. So while you do yours too. So after doing that, to generate your key store, you are going to go back to your cursor account and click on project settings. When you go down, so I'm going to add it here. So as you can see, so I've added mine already. I've added mine here already. So let's go back to our code now. So let's try and do this again. Okay, let's try and do this again. So let's do that. Okay, I think it's working now, as you can see. So it has worked, but it's showing an error code. So as you can see, it showed the error, but the Google login worked well. So what we're going to do next is we are going to fix this no host, no specific host. These ones, that's why we're going to fix those ones now. So how we're going to do that, we're going to go to routes, API routes, and fix these routes. So let's go to let me close this. Okay, yeah, let me come to the API. So this is what our endpoint. Let us get this endpoint and let's take it here. Go sign in like so, but it's going to have this first. It's going to be this. It's going to be this. Then we're going to move this like so. So this should work well. So this place we are going to put our base URL here. So for the base URL is going to be this, because I'm using my local machine. So I'm going to turn on my XAMPP now. So this would work well. So I'm going to run this again. So this is logic. Okay, this is let's go up here. So this is logic to log in. Okay, before we let us do this. So let's go to login view. Let's quickly fix something. I think we have a stack here. We have a container here. Okay, so what we're going to do next is while this is doing its own thing, we're going to come down here and use the OBS to do this actually. Like so. So I'm going to import this now. If it's not already imported, okay, it's there. I guess it's there already. So we're going to say if what, say if what now, if auth controller dot is loading dot value. So if this is true, let's return something. Return what, let's say const of what center having the child of what circular what progress indicator, like so. So we're going to fix this error later. Let's just focus on this first. Then it should return what size bus, sized bust, like so. Okay, I think what is it saying? Okay, like so, like this. It should be this, and this should be having a cap lock. So like this should work for us. So this should work for us well. Then let's check Laravel work. Let's see, it's not displaying any error yet, but okay, we're going to run this again. Meanwhile, let's go back to, do you need anything here? Okay, no, we don't actually have anything to do with this place anymore. Likewise here, alt repo. Okay, so this alt repo, we're going to do some setup here now. For the alt repo, so let's just do some stuff in this alt repo now, because if you come to registration controller in Laravel work, as you can see, it's going to return some stuff: message, token, and user. These are 3 responses going to return if everything goes successfully, right? We're going to use these ones now to process our data here instead of waiting for a thing to load up and everything. So we're going to come down and let's say data. So if data user, which user will tapping into this variable user here. If data user is not null, is not equal to null, that means it contains some some data. If it's not null, we're going to return data, like so. I'm going to return the data. So we can swipe print out the data. It's not really bad. You can swipe print out the data. That's for that. So next we are going to fix the auth controller. I'm going to fix the auth controller now. Still an error here. So we're going to fix the auth controller. So for the auth controller, we're going to use this data. So we already checked if it's none already. So before we do anything here, let's print our data and let's see what's happening first, what the data looks like first. So we're going to just do this again. So let's wait for the response. So we're going to get let's ensure this is running. Okay, I think there's something I didn't do. This server is not running yet. It's not running, so it's not going to work. I forgot to ensure that this server is running, so it's going to bring an error after some time. So let's do php artisan save. Oops, I said server. Not server, save, not server, save, not server. So this, okay, it's running now, so this should work well. As you can see, it's what's rolling on the screen. It's what is showing currently, because we fixed that. So let's wait for this. Let's clear this. Let's wait for it to load up. Let's wait for it to load up. Okay, so instead of waiting for this thing to load up and it's taking time, let's just restart this. Let's hot restart. Let's hot restart that. So we can come here and let's close this. Let's check this. Okay, this was the error before. Let's just clean up this. Let's come here. Okay, eventually it brought out this. It's hot restarted and okay, it's going to restart now. Okay, so let's do this again. let's wait for this to come up. Okay, I think, did it work? It's not yet up. Currently we didn't see. Let's check what happened. Let's check here. Okay, as you can see, there was an error during registration, so it's a error came from there actually. So this file does not exist. So what we're going to do, so we're going to make this file actually exist, because currently there was an error in this file we created last time. I noticed it after the what's it called. If we come up here, it's going to be env here, base parts. So it's going to be out env so we're going to have env here eventually. So let's see. So let's correct this. So it's going to be this. We're going to have layers, then env, like so. So it should be like this. So let's do this again. So as you can see, so point to a directory which is correct. So this is correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this file now from our cursor account, Firebase cursor account. So we're going to download this. So let's check where this is. Let's just cut this and let's go back to our file. Let's go to our public Firebase. Let's open this in terminal. Oops, on this. Let's public folder Firebase. Let's review Event Explorer. So we're going to open this and paste this there, like so. But we're going to just, let's rename this, yeah, like so. So come to .env file and set this up now, Firebase slash this, like so. So this should give us what we want. So let's try and run this again. So this should give us what we want. Okay, I think there's still an error somewhere. Okay, JSON key is missing, client's email feed. Okay, we're going to check where this is coming from. Let's check what we have here. Okay, I think this is not the right file actually. So we actually got the wrong file member. So we are going to come back to our cursor account, the projects, and come to services account. We're going to generate a new private key, and let's get that. So let's take this off and let's take it to this place, like so. So let's copy this name. So we can remove the previous one now. So let's come back here to our .env file. Let's undo this and paste this here, like so. So let's try and do this again. So let's come over here, let's do this again. Okay, let's check if that file is actually there. Oops, this is not what we want here. So we're going to edit this again. Let's come to this place. Okay, so. Let's paste that here. Oops, so we are taking it from here. So we're taking that from here, we're pasting it here actually. Yeah, so we're removing this. So we're doing that again. Let's clear up this. So let's run that again. So this should give us what we want. Okay. So it came out with no response this time. So we have to check. So what we'll do is let's the first thing we have to let's just print out this data up here. Let's print out this data and save this. Let's save this. So let's do this again. Okay, as you can see, data is what? None. So data is none. Let's see here. So we are returning what's we're also putting our data here. Okay, so let's print out this data. Let's print out let's print out this place. Let's print out something first to ensure everything is working fine. Let's print out the status code and see. So let's do this again. Okay, 201. So it's bringing out 201. So let's check our registration. 201 is what? Okay, so let's cache the right response here. Instead of 200, let's change to 21. So we'll remove this now, and we could also remove this because we are sure of what we're going to be having. So let's try this again. So as you can see, that's what's done what wanted it to do successfully. So this is what was wanted all along. Everything is coming up here now. So what we're going to do, we are going to come to this Alt controller and we are going to do some setup now. We're going to do some things here. Basically, what we're going to use the Flutter secure storage to do some stuff here. So to make this video not too long, I'm just going to paste those stuff here. Okay, I'm going to paste the codes here since we know it's working already. So this is it, the home view. We'll import this. So this should work for us. So we're going to update this home view now. Let's do some setup in this home view. So this home view, what we're going to do, we're going to make use of some of those stuff we stored in our as you can see, this home view requires some argument, right? So we're going to make use of those arguments here actually. So the first thing we're going to do, let's just close this. Let's come here. Okay, here actually, let's come down here. Let's come down here. Let's come down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to initialize auth services. Services will be equal to auth services like so. So we're going to say string name equal to none from the onset. Then string email will be this too, like so. So we're going to what? I'll create an override here. Override of int states, like so. So override of int states. So what we're going to do, I'm going to create a method down here. So it's going to be feature void. What we call it loads user data like so. Async. So what we're going to do, we're going to say final what, let's say stored name. This name will be equal to await what, secure what. Did we initiate this? We didn't actually initiate. Let's initiate. Let's say final let's see, secure storage will be equal to Flutter, like so. So we can make this const, so we can then now use this here. Dot what read, let's read. How am I having React? Just read. Then the key is what, name, because we've already stored this here. We've stored it here already. See, look at it, we stored that here already. We stored the image too. So let's just use this and duplicate this. Stored email. This will be what, email. So we can come down here and say set states. Name will be equal to stored name, like so. Then email will be equal to stored email, like so. Let's put it on check. So we can come down here and say, okay, yeah, it's already. Run this. You can just put it though. So this should work for us. Let's come back to this place. So yeah. So let's check out this. Let's sign in. So as you can see, we are trying to sign in right now. Let's check. You logged in successfully. As you can see, has come, but currently the email are not yet got in. So I think something's wrong. Okay, yeah, we didn't actually call this here. We didn't call this here. Like so. Like this. We could just do this. So we're going to get the logout function, but we don't really need that here. Let's so for the logout, it can't go back currently because the route has been cleared. So let's create a logout method here. So for logout, I'm just going to copy and paste actually. So for logout, I have that already. Let's come to services. So let's combine it here and let's paste that here. This for the logout also. So for logout, I'm going to come to the home and let's go up. Let's paste that here and let's okay. Then for the auth services, we are using this. Let's make those changes. So we're going to log out the user. So when the user click on this stuff back, we are logging it, the user out. So like so. So this should work for us well. So once you click back now, it should work. Okay, yeah, it's working fine. So let's run this again. So let's do this together. Just loading. As you can see, it has what successfully logged in the user. So that's how you create a beautiful mobile app like this. So thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new in this video. So I'll see you in the next videos where we'll be learning something different. So if this video was educative and good, I would encourage you and love you to click the like button and also the subscribe button so other persons can get access to this content. So I'll see you in the other videos where we'll be learning something awesome and amazing. Thank you for your time.